Right, we come back in really to prep room. We've got the routing stuff in here, a bit set up. So put the template on the top, positioned it round the edge so I know where I want it. Alright, just looking at, okay. I put masking tape on the areas we're going to cut out. Just really helps highlight it a little bit so you guys can probably see it more. We've got to draw around these, cut them out. We're going to have to take the template back up. I've numbered one so we know exactly where it's going back on. What is an accurate scribe line to go around to give us an equal amount so we haven't got to cut too much off. So easiest way I can do it is give you a washer. If I can get them there. Alright. So that gives me a nice uniform thickness to cut off, not too thick. We'll move it round, do exactly the same on the next one. So we've obviously got them drawn on, so now we've got to go cut them out. So I'm going to go to the bandsaw, cut our curves out, we'll be back in a second. Yeah, I know I said a bandsaw. You're never going to get around there, right? So jigsaw might just be a little bit easier. Easier to control, so get it on there. Bandsaw, just a little bit too tight for our curve. Got to set the router up. So we've got a router. Got bearing guided cutter, bearing on the top, so that's going to run on our template. Hence the fact there's so many clamps on here. I want to make sure I've said the plywood's got a bit twist, pulling everything down so when I start and stop the bearing's in contact. I don't want it drifting in under. That's quite important, so I clamped it down, fixed it on the bench well enough that we've got something to push against, go in, going to come round. Cutter, going to load. The Festo router actually has quite a big hole. Get a bit scared at times and just that you fall into this gap, it becomes a bit unstable. So we can put an insert plate in. This is what takes the threaded guide bushes. Now, just really looking, trying to get an idea of if we've got quite a bit of material still to trim off. This you're going to do one heavy cut pulling back to that bearing. Set the threaded guide bush up to do that first cut. Not going to take us long on here. Get them threaded together. Do it up. That will fit in nicely around our cutter. That will give us a way of taking whatever material outside the cutter to the guide bush at the moment. And then we can take the guide bush out and do our finishing cut. So it's a way of actually dropping that back in. Seems a bit long-winded, just giving me a bit more control. So I've set the cutter depth up to a maximum sort of clear. We've still got a gap. I'm going to do about halfway to start with. This is out. We'll do a first cut, then the second one, take the guide bush out, go back to the bearing cutter, do a clean up cut. Those little things hope to make a little bit of a difference. Most important bit, the outfeed bit on this edge needs to come out of here slowly. Don't want to come out too quick, or I'm going to splinter the fibres up on the back corner. There's nothing supporting apart from the masking tape. Part of the reason I put the tape on there. Okay, couple of sensible things when you go to do that. First of all, check your movement. So where the clamps are, things stable, all those things. So do that dry run before you press go. Next thing, the guide bush thing, that helps give me an offset. Yeah, it's a bearing guided cutter, but it means you're not taking a big, heavy, aggressive cut. I put the masking tape on to make it easier to see, to reinforce the outfeed edge, but it also will clog on the top between the template and the workpiece. That'll create a bump, the bearing will ride over it. So those last cuts where we're just going back through and cleaning up, it's all about cleaning up that tape. And again, fingernail just to wipe that off, give you better finishes. That looks great.